At school drop-off, they humiliated me, Sabrina and her new husband Derek, right in front of our kids. I didn't flinch. I was too busy planning their downfall. As we approached the school, I tightened my grip on the steering wheel. That familiar pressure built in my chest. The morning sun streamed through the windshield, indifferent to the storm brewing inside me. In the rearview mirror, I caught flashes of Liam's animated gestures and Chloe's bright, bouncing smile. Their voices carried from the back seat, buzzing about hamsters and science projects, their excitement untouched by adult games. But I saw them, exactly where I expected, Sabrina and Derek, stationed near the main entrance like self-appointed royalty. Sabrina, immaculate, curated, perfect for the feed. The designer blazer, the effortless hair. But I know what's beneath it, calculating, ruthless, manipulative. The same woman who fought tooth and nail for primary custody, only to delegate parenting to her housekeeper so she could build her blessed motherhood brand. And Derek, my former partner, now her husband. He called me brother once, hand on, my shoulder over dinners he'd later use to sink our company. I see through his polished charm. The predator is still there, barely masked by sunglasses and a smirk. I pulled to the curb, chest tight. Deep breath. I had to hold the line. Dad, are you okay? Chloe's small voice snapped me back. I forced a smile. Just fine, sweetheart. Big day. As they gathered their things, Sabrina's eyes swept over me with lazy disdain before landing on our kids with exaggerated affection. Liam, Chloe, come say hi to Mom and Uncle Derek. Her voice was sweet poison. Derek stood beside her, arms folded, lips curled in smug satisfaction. Still doing the daily school run? That's dedication, man. My tone stayed even. Responsibility doesn't require dedication. It's the default. Liam stepped forward. Chloe lingered, casting one last glance my way. The gesture, hesitant, loyal, split my heart wide open. Sabrina bent to fix Chloe's pigtails. Without looking at me, she fired her next shot. Did you pack their gym clothes this time, Ethan? Or did you forget again like last week? Scripted, calculated, right on cue. I didn't respond. I crouched, kissed them both, and said, "Come on, I'll walk you in." Derek's voice followed us, sticky as oil. "No need to be so tense, man. We're all here for the kids, right?" I stopped, turned slowly, met his gaze until the smirk cracked. It's because of the kids that I've kept my silence this long. I led my children into the school, not looking back. But something had shifted. The years of quiet endurance, of letting them rewrite the story while I played the villain, that ended today. I wouldn't let them poison my children's minds anymore. This wasn't just school drop-off. It was the opening move of a new game. And I was changing the rules. Back at home, silence welcomed me like a familiar ghost. The coffee scent lingered, the creak of the door the same, but the space no longer felt like mine. My eyes drifted to the empty chair across the dining table, Sabrina's chair. I still expected her there sometimes. 3 years gone, and the ghost remained. But what I lost wasn't just a marriage, it was my reputation, my self-respect, my children's trust. I opened my laptop, the usual emails. A note from my assistant confirmed the meeting with Carter. Investments, my company's future riding on it. But another message stood out, from Patrick, my longtime supplier. Someone claiming to represent your company contacted me, asking about contracts. Seemed suspicious. A chill ran down my spine. Only one name surfaced. Derek. I searched business registrations. And there it was. Strategic Tech Acquisitions and Consulting. Formed 3 months ago. Vague description. Familiar connections. 2 ex-partners who pulled out on shaky excuses were suddenly linked to his new venture. This morning's smug look wasn't petty. It was strategic. He was circling. I called Rebecca, my accountant, my only real ally. I need a full access audit. Every file, every login, every data pull for the past 6 months. That's a lot, Ethan. Something wrong? Just being careful. I need it within 24 hours. In my home office, I wiped the whiteboard clean. I started mapping who's backing Derek, who's feeding him intel. The questions multiplied, but for the first time in years, my mind was clear. This wasn't about heartbreak anymore. It was about survival, business warfare. And unlike marriage, I've always known how to win in business. By 1:37 a.m., my hands were inked with notes. Cold water hit my face in the hallway bathroom. I stared into the mirror. The man looking back was different. Hardened. Focused. No more concessions, I told my reflection. I'm not pushing back. I'm taking back what's mine. The Mar. Next morning, Rebecca's email came in. Subject line: "You need to see this." By the third paragraph, I was leaning forward, heart pounding. Unauthorized access to our contract system. Timestamps aligning with conferences Derek attended. And at the bottom, logins traced to IP addresses tied to Sabrina's law firm. She wasn't just involved. She was running it. Her conferences, a front, her co-parenting, a performance. She orchestrated this takeover. Derek was just the face. I hit the whiteboard again. Connections formed like constellations. Too strategic. Partners pulled out months ago, both linked to a small fund now backing Derek's venture. A blogger who trashed me online last spring. Derek's college roommate. Isolated setbacks weren't isolated. They were coordinated. Every move had been deliberate, a calculated effort to destabilize me before the Carter meeting. By noon, I was on the phone with Alex, my old corporate attorney. "They're creating a narrative," he said, "to devalue your company before launching a takeover. So what's our move?" No public reaction. Document everything. IP theft, business defamation, quietly, and start shifting perception. You need momentum. That afternoon, I worked the phones, reassured partners, shared profit margins and timelines, mentioned Carter Investments, casually but deliberately. "If anything concerns you," I told each one, "I hope you'll come. To me first. Let them build a castle on lies. I'm coming for the foundation." By evening, a former colleague sends a warning, "Heads up. A hit piece about you is scheduled to drop on Startup Daily Forum tomorrow." Derek's moving faster than, I thought. I don't panic, I've stopped reacting. Hours earlier, I'd already sent a detailed financial report, confidentially, to our closest partners, along with a short message. In the interest of transparency, I wanted to share this ahead of our quarterly release. At 8 a.m. sharp, the article hits. Just as I predicted, allegations of financial misconduct, claims I've been blacklisted, and wild speculation that I'm preparing to liquidate assets. The arguments are weak, but the piece spreads fast. Shared in industry groups, whispered, about in inboxes. I forward it to Alex without comment. 3 hours later, he calls. We trace the source. The post came from an IP tied to Trendsetter's PR, the same firm Sabrina hired for her divorce-era rebrand. What a coincidence, I say, feeling a cold smile pull at the corners of my mouth. When enough coincidences stack, they become admissible. Post my response on our company blog, a calm, data-driven breakdown of our growth, emphasizing recent milestones and upcoming partnerships. No direct mention of the allegations, just clean, factual dismantling. The reaction is swift. Comments, messages, calls. Skepticism turns toward the smear campaign. Some contacts publicly declare their support. The narrative is shifting. Then, Rebecca calls, "I found something." DataSync's new account manager. He has financial ties to an LLC owned by Derek's brother-in-law. I think they've been leaking our analytics. That's our smoking gun, I say, exhaling. Can you document everything? Already in motion. Alex will have it before EOD. I hang up and look at the whiteboard in my office, a web of names, timelines, transactions. For 3 years, I was drowning in the aftermath. But this moment is different. I'm not just surviving anymore. I'm steering. That night, a parent-teacher conference invitation stares at me from the kitchen counter. For 3 days, I consider ignoring it like I always do. I usually have an excuse lined up. Travel, deadlines. Anything to avoid playing polite in a room with Sabrina and Derek. But this time I RSVP. Will attend. 20 minutes early. Park far from the school entrance, watching the room before I walk in. Sabrina and Derek are already there, charming, composed, working the room. She's dressed in cream and calculation. Derek stands at her side, all polished smiles and PR charm. Parents glance at me as I enter. Polite nods, but cool. I know that look. They've heard her version. I take a seat near the back. Principal Thornton gives the usual spiel, curriculum, fundraising, bake sales. Then she asks, "Any news or announcements to share with the school community?" My hand goes up. A pause sweeps the room. I see Sabrina's head snap toward me, her face tightening. I stand. Voice steady. "I'd like to share some positive business news. My company just closed a strategic funding round with Carter Investments. We'll be doubling operations and expanding our team significantly this year." A breath. Then, "Also, for those who've heard certain rumors, our financials are solid. Our growth trajectory is stronger than ever. Happy to share data if needed." The air shifts, murmurs ripple. Derek's smile falters. Sabrina bends over to adjust Chloe's hair, using our daughter as a screen. Suddenly, I'm no longer the man in her narrative. I'm the one rewriting it. After the meeting, as parents approach with questions, curiosity replacing distance, Sabrina corners me in the hallway. "Congratulations on the funding," she says, sweetly rehearsed. "That's wonderful. Thanks." She leans in, voice dropping. "Look, Ethan, for the kids, let's keep things civil. They're what matter most. I don't flinch. If that were true, you wouldn't have used them as chess pieces." A crack in her mask, quick recovery. "We should talk. Derek's concerned about some misunderstandings. I only speak with honest people," I say quietly. "When you find one, let me know." Then I walk away. In my car, a message from Alex is waiting. Source confirmed. Bank transfers from Derek to Trendsetters PR, dated 2 days before the article dropped. I lean back, a grin spreading across my face. They thought I was easy prey. They never imagined I'd become the blade. By morning, the fallout is spreading. My phone lights up with messages from people who once ghosted me. An investor who went silent 6 months ago wants to reconnect. Nortex Systems sends a formal apology. Alex's report lands next. 3 payments to Trendsetters PR totaling $28,500, labeled strategic narrative placement. Even better, 2 investors in Derek's LLC have pulled their funds after receiving our legal warnings. Alex recommends filing a complaint with the FTC. We have more than enough to trigger an investigation and collapse Derek's entire operation. Then Sabrina calls. I answer. Ethan, she fumbles. Her voice is shaky. "We need to talk. Derek. He's falling apart." Her panic betrays her. Jason, Ryan, Derek. All men she manipulated. "I'm not your cleanup crew," I say, cold. "You built this mess together." The next day, Derek emails. "We need to talk. Things have gone too far. Let's find a way to resolve this." I wait 3 days. Then I agree to meet on my terms. No Sabrina, no lawyers, no recordings. A neutral coffee shop downtown. I arrive 5 minutes late. Deliberately. He looks like a ghost. Eyes sunken, hands shaking. "Thanks for coming," he mutters. I crossed a line. "I need your help to stop this." I lean back, calm. "You're not here because you regret anything. You're here because I'm the last exit not already on fire." He doesn't argue. He doesn't need to. And I don't need mercy, only precision. I'm not backing out. "I can't lose everything," he mutters. I keep my voice calm but sharp enough to cut. "What about what I lost? My reputation, my kids' respect. 3 years rebuilding what you tried to burn down." He stares into his coffee, already cornered. "What do you want from me?" I slide a folder across the table. 3 things. First, a public statement admitting everything. The lies, the partner manipulation, the smear campaign, posted everywhere you poisoned the air. He opens his mouth, I don't let him speak. Second, personal apology letters. Every partner you approached. I have names. His face goes pale. Third, you're out of tech. 5 years. No startups. No consulting, nothing. You erased me, now it's your turn. That's my whole career. Should have thought of that before trying to steal mine. I close the folder. Or, I file suit tomorrow, and make this public. Your call. Silence. Long enough to feel like a crack forming in him. Finally, a slow nod. Bitter. Beaten. Want me to get on my knees too? He spits. I stand. No. I just want you off the field. You tried to shove me off. He extends a hand. Formal. Ice cold. I leave it hanging. I don't shake hands with traitors. By 9 a.m., his confession is live. Website, socials, every platform he once used against me. The tech world recoils, swift, brutal. He's exiled, overnight. Sabrina scrambles to save face, posting a tearful video. Claims she was just a supportive wife. No one buys it. Her influencer world crumbles. Friends vanish. Our kids start asking why she's not welcome at school events anymore. Their empire collapses, one crack at a time. 6 months later, everything's changed. The deal with Carter closes clean. Capital flows in, partnerships bloom. Our new platform launches to critical acclaim. Ironically, its standout feature, born from Derek's sabotage, I'm back on conference stages, now introduced as more than a founder, resilient strategist, comeback architect. One crisp morning, I call Rebecca into my office. What's this? She asks, eyeing the folder. Equity. Agreement. 10% of the company. She pushes it back. I don't want equity. I blink. But I'll take the CFO role you've been dodging. I grin. Even better. Legal's tripled in size. Alex leads it now. Our shield. The best defense, he told me, is being untouchable from the start. That night, Dean and I sit on the deck, sunset painting the yard in gold. He never demanded proof, just stood by me. Quiet, unshakable. Thank you, I say, for... What? For believing? He doesn't answer, just reaches over, squeezes my hand once. That's enough. Inside, Liam and Chloe argue over a game. At 11 and 9, they're growing. Smarter, more aware. Last week, on the way back from practice, Liam asked, Dad, do you hate Derek? I paused. No, but I'll never let anyone hurt you or your sister again. He nodded, satisfied, and went back to discussing soccer tactics. This morning, Chloe gave me a drawing. Me standing guard in front of them. The caption, Daddy, our hero. It's framed in my office now. Sabrina's image faded. The influencer gigs dried up. The parenting got real. We now split time more equally, and the kids seem steadier for it. Today I sit in an Adirondack chair, sun on my face, Chloe chasing Liam with a water gun. Dean's manning the grill, no anxiety, no dread. Victory isn't destroying your enemies, it's building a life so strong they can't reach it. Dean hands me iced tea, clinks glasses. We made it, I whisper. He shakes his head. No, we're just getting started. Laughter fills the yard. My phone's inside, forgotten. For the first time in years, I'm not watching my back, because I've already won.